When I was a kid, every weekend me and my dad would boot up Halo. Years later, it became the first multiplayer game I ever played. I made friends at school through Gears of War, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo. And I didn't know it back then, but I was living in the golden era of shooters. Overwatch gave us hero shooters, PUBG kicked off the Battle Royale wave, and I got a PC to play Valorant. Mouse and keyboard tactical shooters. All new to me, but even then I found a way to rank up. Yet now, more than ever, it feels like I'm chasing something that doesn't exist anymore. And with all the hype around Battlefield 6, I had to stop and ask myself, what is it that actually makes a good shooter? You've probably heard of the ship of Theseus. Take a boat, replace each plank one by one. At what point is it no longer the same boat? That's how modern shooter studios feel. Same name, same IP, but all the people behind them are new. Shooters today are full of fast movement systems, abilities, perks, gadgets, all in the name of innovation. Everything is built to break away from what came before. But in trying so hard to create something new, we've lost the identity of what made these games great in the first place. In a game like Valorant, moving onto a site means controlling variables. You ask for smokes, you throw flashes, you clear angles. That's intentional, that's tactical, that's the whole point. But when a game like Fragpunk gives you tools that bypass all that, abilities that make breaking those rules easy, you create a game with less challenge and a lower skill ceiling. Sure, it's different. Sure, it's fresh. But it misses what made Counter-Strike and Valorant so addictive to begin with. And ironically, Fragpunk might be foreshadowing Valorant's current problem, an over-reliance on abilities that are starting to weigh the game down. Innovation is important, it's needed, but if every shooter keeps reinventing itself like the ship of Theseus, eventually you're not making the same game anymore. You're making something that doesn't speak to the same players.
All right. Shoot.
After playing most of the current shooters, from the niche ones to the big dogs, I noticed something. There are three core pillars that every great shooter needs. Gunplay needs to be the deciding factor. Every fight should feel like a standoff. Who's the better shot? In Gears of War, movement matters more than aim. In the futuristic Call of Duty titles, players eventually called for boots on the ground. Not because they hated movement, but because they missed when gun skill actually mattered. Even Valorant started to suffer from ability creep. Same with Halo Infinite. Mobility is so high that fights are more about escaping than shooting. In modern Call of Duty, the 3-lane design is gone, replaced by noisy maps that encourage hiding. And that's the thing. When gunplay isn't the main killing factor, you're not playing a shooter anymore, you're playing something else. Even in hero shooters like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, your abilities should help you win fights, not completely replace the need to shoot. How powerful can the game make you feel? Can you solo getting multiple kills? Can you clutch around? In hero shooters, time to kill is long, so ultimates give you those multi-kill moments. If you're a healer, you might save your whole team. That's your moment. But in a game like Mecha Break, where there are no ultimates and everything revolves around team play, solo moments disappear. Look, I get it. Working as a team should help you win, but every player still deserves their own chance to shine. In Halo, grenades used to let you clear out groups. Now, they're too precise. Turn a corner and see multiple people, it's better to back off. Same goes for Splitgate 2, and that sucks. You want those moments where you turn a corner, be the underdog, and clutch it. Or drop an ultimate just in time to stop the enemy from taking the objective. Those are the moments you dream of, the ones that bring you back. Because not every match is a team comp. Sometimes it's just you. And if every fight is a 1 versus 2, you can't win, or you're scared to hold an objective solo, that's not fun atmosphere. That's just stress. Every player deserves to be treated as a threat. This one caught me off guard. I played Fragpunk and couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. It looked cool, it felt cool, but it was missing something. And then I realized it was too easy. There was no barrier to entry, nothing that made me say, I need to get better. Even though the game has cool ideas like round-changing cards, the abilities are just too strong. Things that would be considered ultimates in other games are just on cooldown here. You spawn with the sniper ability that does 120 damage out of 150 and insta-kills on headshots. Plus, you get multiple shots. That's wild. It's like if Chamber had an outlaw for an ability instead of a sheriff. When an ability feels like you're playing Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Pressing a button to say F you to your opponent, it starts feeling like a cheat code. And that's not the same as feeling powerful. Being powerful means you have the tools to win. Cheating means you didn't even have to try. Great shooters don't remove the challenge, they tell you to grow a pair and get in there. Walk into a room, you should have to check both angles. Maybe use utility to clear space, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to shoot someone. In high mobility games like Halo or Splitgate, you can avoid those fights entirely. In Fragpunk, you don't even have to enter the room. Go invisible, throw a tornado, send a scan, pick your target from safety. But that's not rewarding. That's not a shooter anymore. You should feel like it's kill or be killed. The adrenaline of knowing every action counts. That's what gets you addicted.
MVP's mine. MVP's mine. MVP's mine.
Do the Batista bomb! Goose!
Hey, MVP, see that ribbon right there? What'd I say?
Every top tier shooter nails these principles in some point. Look at Counter-Strike. That's the game your older brother played. That's the game your dad played. Still alive, still thriving, still following all three rules. Some games only focus on two, and that's okay as well. Those two pillars have to be strong. Gears of War focuses on mobility. Wall bouncing is easy to learn, hard to master, and once you master it or understand it, you can win fights off that alone. Fortnite made building more important than gunplay, but you had to learn it. When no build came out, it brought people back. Why? Because it balanced all three pillars. And even outperformed Warzone, which leans too hard into loadouts and overpowered guns. So when Splitgate or Fragpunk don't hit like they should, it's not because the market's oversaturated. Marvel Rivals broke through, Counter-Strike is still alive decades later. It's because they didn't make shooters that appeal to what actually keeps us playing. The next big shooter, it'll have all three pillars. It has to, because that's what keeps the genre alive. At the end of the day, we're all cowboys just looking for that next duel. Until next time, play nice.